Hello everyone and welcome to Looping for Dummies, a series in which I give you tips and tricks about looping that even a bronze player could understand. Today's episode is in the basics of looping. As a beginner, the game does not at all explain looping, which means your average newbie won't have a clue. For those who don't know, looping is the act of using a tile's obstacles, windows, and/or pallets to delay or completely avoid a hit. Looping seems basic at first, but is much more complicated than it seems. Actions such as hugging the wall or greeting a pallet can be the deciding factors in life or death, both of which I will go over today. While looping, you want to make sure you're as far away from the killer as possible. Most loops are just short enough that you can see the killer's heads, making it easier to know which way they are going, or if they're trying to fake you out. The red stain is an easy way to know which way the killer is facing, as it displays directly in front of them as a bright red semicircle. It helps survivors predict killer movements. However, killers will attempt to hide their red stain from you, either by facing one direction and moving backwards, or by means of perks. Some killer status effects will hide the red stain completely, so relying on it will not always work. Additionally, looking behind you while in chase could be helpful, but be bad if you look behind you for long enough and end up getting caught on something. Hugging a wall is the action of being as close to the wall of the loop as the game will allow you, letting you slide along it. Completely straight walls, such as shack or most main buildings, make this easy. The main issue with hugging is that it requires you to look at the wall with around a 45-degree angle. This is vital for looping, as being too far from the wall or looking at a different angle can waste seconds and possibly cost you a hit. Costing or hugging is arguably the most important concept that you will have to understand. Greening is the action of not dropping a pallet for as long as possible. Pallets are the strongest resource available to a survivor, and making sure you don't waste them is vital. Greening heavily relies on hugging walls, and by hugging as tight as possible, you can make distance from killers. Knowing when to drop a pallet can dictate how long a chase goes on for. You want to keep a pallet up as long as possible, so that means to run around the loop as long as you can. If the killer is close enough to hit you with a launch attack, then you should drop the pallet. However, some killers will respect pallets, meaning they will walk around the loop and not directly through the spot where the pallet is upright. Doing this can be detrimental to the killer, as if you act like you are about to drop the pallet and don't, it will likely give you time to wrap around the loop at least once more. Lots of killers will switch up if they will respect or not, so knowing to greet the pallet once more or risk dying is simply up to instinct. As stated above, knowing when to drop a pallet is crucial to survival. While looping or making your way to a resource, ask yourself this question: what do I have to lose? If the punishment for messing up is being downed, like if you're injured or exposed, then you should play much safer, such as dropping the pallet once the killer is close enough to hit you, whether the killer respects the pallet or not. 9 times out of 10, killers will break the pallet once you drop it, giving you time to run to a different resource. If the killer does not immediately break the pallet, you will have to enter a 50-50, which is something I will cover in a later video. In the background of this video, there are clips of me showing off these actions. I would recommend going back and watching the footage, even if you think you understand. Hopefully this video is helpful, and as the first in its series, makes you want to watch the rest as I release them. As always, have a good one, and see you in the next video.